We need to talk.
You may not have grown around people who were Black, but I have.
They are my friends, my classmates, and my teammates, my roommates, my family.
Today, I'm scared for them.
This year, the American police have killed more than 500 people.
Of those, 25% have been Black, even though Black people only make up 13% of the population.
In Louisiana, 2 white police officers killed a Black man named Alton Sterling while he sold CDs on the streets.
The very next day in Minnesota, a police officer shot and killed a Black man named Philando Castile during a traffic stop while his girlfriend and her 4-year-old daughter looked on.
Overwhelmingly, police face no consequences for ending these lives.
This is a terrifying reality that some of my closest friends live with every day.
Even as we hear about the dangers that Black Americans face, it is instinct sometimes to point at all the ways that we are different.
To shield ourselves from their reality instead of empathizing.
When the police shoot a Black person, it's easy to think it's the victim's fault because the media portrays them as thugs and criminals.
After all, you might say we managed to come to America with nothing and build good lives for ourselves, despite discrimination. So why can't they?
I want to share with you how I see things.
It's true that we face discrimination as Asians in this country.
Sometimes people are rude to us because of our accents. Sometimes we are denied a promotion at work because we are told we are not leadership material.
Some of us are told that we're terrorists.
But for the most part, nobody thinks of us as dangerous criminal while we are walking down the street.
The police do not gun down our children and parents simply for existing.
This is not the case for my Black friends.
Many Black people were brought to America as slaves against their will. For centuries, their communities, families, and bodies were ripped apart for profit.
Even after slavery, they had to build back their own lives by themselves, without any institutional support. Not allowed to vote or own homes, and constantly under the threat of violence that continues to this day.
In fighting for their own rights, Black activists have led the movement for opportunities not just for themselves, but for us as well.
Black people have been beaten, jailed, and even killed, fighting for many of the rights that we as Asian Americans enjoy today.
We owe them so much in return.
We're all fighting the same unfair system that prefers that we compete against each other.
And when somebody is walking home and is shot by a sworn protector of the law, even if that officer's name is Peter Liang, that is an assault on all of us and all of our hopes for equality and freedom under the law.
For all of these reasons, I support the Black Lives Matter movement.
Part of that support means speaking up when I see people in my community or even my family saying or doing things that diminish the humanity of Black Americans in this country.
I'm telling you this out of love because I don't want this issue to divide us.
I'm asking you to try to empathize with the anger, the grief of the fathers, the mothers, the children who have lost their loved ones to police violence.
To empathize with my anger and grief and support me if I choose to be vocal, to protest.
To share this letter with your friends and encourage them to be empathetic too.
As your child, I'm proud and eternally grateful for the long, hard journey you've taken to get to this country, for having lived decades in a place that has not always been kind to you.
You've never wished your struggles upon me. Instead, you suffered through a prejudiced America to bring me closer to the American dream.
But I hope you can consider this. The American dream can not only exist for your children.
We are all in this together.
And we cannot feel safe until all our friends, our loved ones, and our neighbors are safe.
And the American dream that we seek is a place where all Americans can live without the fear of police violence.
This is the future that I want, and the one that I hope you want too.
With love and hope.
From Tallahassee, Florida to
Vienna, Virginia to
Seattle, Washington to
Pleasanton, California to
Haro, Iloilo, Philippines.
And Chaong, Quezon, Philippines to
Hattiesburg, Mississippi to
Brooklyn, New York to
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to
Chillicothe, Ohio to
St. Louis, Missouri to
Houston, Texas, too.
Washington, D.C. too.